You can sense the intensity as they await the arrival of the Tennessee team here at Leland Stadium. The number one undefeated Volunteers prepare to race onto the field. Everything is riding on this football game. So there's a special intensity, a special urgency. Here come the Volunteers. Wherever you listen throughout the world, it's football time in Tennessee.
Didn't make it on fourth down. T comes off. Standing right by Billy Ratliff, and T's coming off and starting to unhook his pads a little bit, and Billy says, "Don't unhook your pads. We're going to get the ball back."
Second down and 11 for Arkansas. 1:47 remaining. One timeout left. Call it 12 to go for the first down. Sterner lost the football! Oh my goodness! He stumbled and fumbled, and Billy Ratliff recovered!
We made this play. Billy Ratliff knocked this All-American guard back into the quarterback. He stepped in on his foot. Quarterback probably made a mistake, not just falling on the ball. Billy not only knocked him back, but he got the ball back for us. So,
how important was this fumble recovery?
Well, it meant the season. You probably didn't know that at the moment, but it absolutely meant the season.
What's going on, Vol fans? What's up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Daddy Mac's Down Home Dive? Farragut, Tennessee. We're bringing it to you live. We're not as chipper and happy as we were last Wednesday, Billy. And I'm going to go ahead and give out a warning. We got somebody already in the chat. If he starts yapping too much, you're out. I'm flushing you. I'm going to do the old flush. Where's the flush at, Bill? I got to get it queued up.
But Ryan, he gets no play time. He can't get play time when you win. You got to always come in here.
Yeah. He's been talking. You should see the text he sent me. You should see him, Billy. You'd be mad. Oh man. Well, I guess we could go ahead and kind of get into the game. You watched it. We watched it. We watched it out here with a bunch of screaming, rowdy fans here at Daddy Mac's. We're going to be here every week. I'm going to tell you what I think.
Talk to me.
I know ball. Ryan doesn't think I know ball, but I know ball. I better be careful how I say this. I don't think we need a new quarterback. I don't. I know there's a lot of people that think we do, and we need to go ahead and bring in Nico and make our lumps. We just lost one game, Billy. We can't throw in the towel on the season this soon. And it's Florida. We're jinxed. It ain't nothing Florida's doing. It ain't the swamp. It ain't Florida. It's a curse. And sometimes you just can't. I don't know. I don't think we need a new quarterback. I really think that Alex Golesh is a bigger loss than what we think, because we're not. They say, well, we don't have. Maybe it's the players. I really don't know. I really don't know. But Brew's a good wide receiver. We got Squirrel. We got Keaton. The play calling is night and day difference than what it was in the Orange Bowl. It's not the same. Is it the offensive line? I gotta know. What is it?
I'll tell you what it is, man. I didn't realize we had that many players injured. I didn't know that. I didn't know we had a lot, offensive linemen, a couple of offensive linemen. I didn't know that.
Oh, that's right. I got an excuse now.
I didn't know that, some of the running backs was injured or wasn't playing. I didn't know that. But still no excuse, because the next guy in line has to step up. Now, I'm going to get to the point where, everybody keeps calling for Milton's head. Of course, I get it. I get it because he is the guy. He is the face. He's supposed to be the leader. I'm not blaming it on him. I'm going to blame it on the offensive coordinator and what was that? It sounded different all of a sudden.
Yeah, I had the speaker up just a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, because it's echoing in my ear. And offensive line played like crap, guys.
It did. Horrible.
You know, even when the play happened when Milton got hit and he threw the interception, the guy Milton was throwing it to was wide open, and he got crushed by 80 pounds in his chest. Offensive line, they played like crap all game long. I didn't see a good situation in the whole scheme until the fourth quarter when we had to go get points. The first drive was pretty good because they went down there and scored, and after that, it sucked. Now, defense. Oh, gosh. We couldn't tackle a pillow if we tried, gosh. Man. We play like crap on defense. I mean, I don't know what this new thing is. They're using their shoulder to try to tackle.
Number 5 twice.
I mean, that's not how you play football. I mean, I understand that, you know, the way you can't use your head or different ways or you got to tackle different now. But there's still no excuse for that many missed tackles that we had this past weekend. And now I'm going to blame the defensive coordinator for allowing them to continue to run the ball the way they ran the ball on us by not using any movements with the defensive line, because we was getting washed the whole game in the cutback or the sweeps and stuff. You got to get some movement when they're doing that to our guys. They got to have help. We're not that physically sound up front to just say we're going to just run it down or we can play base defense to handle any offensive line. Now, let's go back over to the offensive coordinator. When we have 5 wides or 4, whatever, you know, and they only have 4 guys in the box. Now, that's where you're supposed to scheme them and check to quarterback draw or something or sprint draw with the running, something. You got to do stuff when you have the numbers. We never utilized it.
Not once. Not
one time. And I mean, you can't continue to do the bubble screen. Eventually, they're going to pick up on that. And I mean, this weekend, I'm going to tell you like this weekend's not going to be easy. This team we're playing is a really tough team.
Don't you start with me, Billy.
I'm being honest with you. You go watch and see the games that they play. They have gave everybody hell this year. And I'm not saying that we're not going to smash them, I mean, because we're supposed to. But we're going to get the best from them. But, you know, the fans, they got to understand that this is a long season. You know, we still have a whole lot to go. We got a lot of teams to play that we still can get back in contention for the SEC East. Just got to handle business, do our thing. You know, still got, you know, a lot of top 10 opponents on our schedule. I mean, we can upset those guys and still have a chance. A loss doesn't mean we suck, guys. It doesn't. We just got to go fix our mistakes. Like, yeah, you'll see a totally different Florida team play this, whoever they got this weekend. You know, you won't see a 49-0 game.
Well, I tell you what, that number 5 that did that shoulder tackle, I would rather him have a 15-yard personal foul penalty and hit the guy than to hit him with his shoulder and the guy scored a touchdown. That's what what would have happened if they made that play? I know your coaches are watching this. What would happen back when you played if you were what would happen to a number 5 the way he did on them 2 plays? Would he be yanked out of the game, or would they wait till Monday? I mean, that was the worst tackling I've ever seen in my life.
I'd say that probably the worst tackler we had on our team was probably, you know, D. Good or Deion Grant. They did. I mean, Deion Grant did that a few times, but he corrected that quick by, intercepting one, taking it back for a touchdown or something like that when it was crunch time. He made up for it. Those guys didn't do none of that. But if that would have happened when I played, I mean, God, man, you probably want to quit.
Golly.
You would want to play, man. You want to quit.
Why is it that I'm constantly saying, why can't we tackle? Why can't we tackle? It seems like it's been like a broken record for the last few years. Do they not do drills or nothing to coach them up, or do they just not even coach tackling anymore?
We'll tackle. The beginning of the season, we tackle well up until Austin P, the fourth quarter where the third string goes in. But we have tackled well all season up until the Florida game. I don't know what happened. I mean, we couldn't have had that many guys out on defense. I mean, that's a mental thing. That's something that, you practice that. Everybody knows how to tackle. You don't show the tackle.
They do?
Everybody. I mean, you don't.
You couldn't prove that by me.
Tackling is not something that is hard to learn. It's not. Anybody can make a tackle. All you have to do is use your hands, grab them, wrap up, and take them down.
Then why don't we do that? If it's so easy, why don't we do it?
It ain't a we thing. It's a personal thing. It's not a we thing. It's a couple of guys that wasn't doing their job. I'm telling you, it only takes one player on any side of the ball to mess up to make everything go bad.
I couldn't imagine if Al Wilson was still playing and he saw what number 5 did. He'd probably rather gone to the sideline than to dealt with what he would have dealt with. You probably couldn't even, the FCC wouldn't let us repeat what Al Wilson would have told that player.
I mean, I wouldn't be the only one, though. That's just it. I mean, you had guys like Ray Knox, Sean Ellis. Heck, you had offensive linemen coming over there jumping on you for missing tackles. It wasn't just a defensive thing. It was a whole squad thing because they know what you could do. They seen it in practice.
Well, I'm just tired of losing to Florida. I know we beat them. I want to move on. I don't even want to think about Florida anymore. I just don't even want to think about it. I'm already going to be reminded every 5 minutes by crying Ryan and sending me all these texts and stuff. We got BVD in over here on the chat, over here on YouTube, on one of our YouTube channels. Chad on Facebook, Chris on Facebook, Okie Brave on YouTube, Ryan on YouTube. I think this one's Twitter. Steven on Twitter.
We beat Florida last year.
Yep.
So, I mean, I understand the streak in Florida, but we still beat Florida. They got a 1-game streak. I don't care what they call it in Florida. It's a 1-game streak.
No, they ain't got no streak on us. If Ryan wouldn't acknowledge our streak of 1 game being a streak, I'm not going to acknowledge his 1 game as being a streak. He says it's got to be 3 before it's a streak. The start of any streak is a win. So
exactly.
Whatever. Let me read some of the comments. I'm going to go to YouTube first. Got BVD over here. I seen him a minute ago. He said, everything about this game was bad, including the team that beat us.
I mean, I told you that Florida was going to give us their best they've ever played all season. And their coach said it. I mean, hey, the Utah game was a tough loss to them. And they players went back and sucked it up. And guess what they did? They came out, and now what? We got to do the same thing. Like Florida's season is not over. They lost 1 game, but their season is not over.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still ranked ahead of Florida, but, they're 1 game ahead of us in the SEC now. Florida will not go undefeated in the SEC.
I don't think so either. And I don't think the next 2 weeks is going to tell us a lot of how this season's going to go. South Carolina is going to be a big deal. A big deal. You seen how they jumped out on Georgia, but Georgia made adjustments.
Exactly. That's what you do when
we ain't making adjustments. It doesn't seem like we're playing the same thing all game.
No, we make adjustments. You just don't see them. And just because they don't work don't mean we didn't make adjustments.
Well,
I'm telling you, the problem is that one kid that's not doing his job.
If I was Florida, I'd have been throwing it his way every single play. That's how bad of a tackler he was.
And see, and then if we did that and it didn't work, you're still going to be mad at the guys. These guys, y'all don't understand. These guys are not trying to lose these games.
I know.
These guys are giving they all that they can just because it doesn't look. I mean, because I've been on some of those teams. I've been on there. I've been behind it where the fans just gave up on us.
You can't tell me that none of our players can do it. I know we've got athletes. Go down there and look at them. They're athletic. They're strong. They're fast.
Here, put it like this here. What happened to the fan that said Joe Milton is the real deal?
I said that in the offseason.
I know you did because he did his job.
I still think he can do it.
I mean, Joe Milton may have made one mistake all season. The interception is the only thing he's done wrong this whole season.
Yeah. He hasn't been, well.
The only reason we saw Hooker is because he got hurt last year.
That's true.
So
do you think that the offense would be performing any better with Hooker this year?
Heck no. Not with that offensive line.
That's true. Is it really that bad?
Last weekend, it was that bad. It was that bad. You know, I guarantee you, we got probably to be one of the worst third down conversion teams in the country.
That's a fact.
That's the problem right there on offense. We're not blocking well, and we're not converting on third down. We got to fix those two things right there. If we can fix those, I promise you everything gets better.
Well, let's go over some of the highlights that we picked out.
BVD, I guarantee you, come next season, I guarantee you when he get drafted and you go out there and see him play in the next league, you'll change your mind about him. If you understand that Tennessee lost a whole lot on offense last year. How many guys got drafted in the NFL off that offensive team?
We had a first-round offensive lineman get drafted.
When's the last time we had any offensive lineman really drafted, really? I mean,
been a while.
Been forever.
Been a while.
Heck, the one that got drafted couldn't carry any offensive lineman strap when I played.
But we had some offensive linemen.
He was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the last one we had was Trey.
Yeah, Trey Smith.
And he was a
sixth rounder. He would have been a first rounder if he wouldn't have been blood clots.
Yeah, Trey got stolen.
Yeah. Ryan don't deserve Trey Smith. Does not deserve him. It ticks me off that he's at Kansas City, Ryan's favorite team. That makes me ill.
Yeah, I told Ryan that they got lucky with that. That I said that they will win a couple Super Bowls with that.
Jeez. They call him, you know what they call him over there at Kansas City? The enforcer. That's what Travis Kelce, they said their enforcer on the team is Trey Smith, Big Trey.
Hey, well, BBD, tell me what's the different skill set that you're referring to? Because the skill set that I'm thinking about, they have the same skill set. They both can throw the ball. If you give either one of those kids time to throw that ball, they will get it to the kids. The difference between those two is Milton would have never tore his knee up trying to run that ball the way Hooker did. Hooker can't run the ball. He doesn't have the skill set that y'all think he has. The numbers that he did last year got Hooker drafted.
So you think it was the scheme that he is playing in that?
Trust me. Now, here, I'll give you an example. Josh Dobbs is just not getting a chance to play.
He played good this week. He lost, but he played well.
It took him that long to transition to what a true quarterback skill set really is.
You know what? That's got to be probably one of the biggest differences from college to NFL is quarterback. Can you imagine the difference between the quarterback playing quarterback in college versus the NFL?
Mm-hmm. It's totally
oh my
different.
gosh.
Totally
and everybody's
different.
looking for that first year wonder and all that stuff. How they, Peyton's an exception. He got good on his second year, but they started him the first game of his career. there's not many Mahomes out there that can play. He didn't play his first year, but for a young kid, he's pretty daggum good. Don't tell Crying Ryan I said that, but he's a good quarterback.
He's a good one, man.
You know who Ocho Cinco said who he would rather play for, and did you see that clip? And he was given a choice between Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes. You know who he picked? Patrick Mahomes, because he said they could draw up plays in the sand before, on the fly, and Peyton wouldn't. He said Peyton wouldn't let anybody do that. It was too regimented. And
he's mobile. He's mobile. He can throw on the run. He does some things that's physically impossible to do on that field, and it shows. But right now they're struggling because they don't have those veteran receivers.
Yeah.
They got the speed, but they don't have the receivers.
Well, back to quarterback, here's an article that came out. Joey, our offensive coordinator, said he's not interested in a quarterback switch. I'm not either. I know there's a lot of fans crying and wanting a new quarterback. That's the first thing they say when the team does bad. You know what they say in Chicago? The most popular person in Chicago is the backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that goes for Tennessee too.
Exactly. Everybody wants Nico to play right now. I'm like, what have the starting quarterback done to tell you that it's time to put him in the game?
I need Nico to put some weight on. He looks like pixie sticks.
I get that, man. But the way the game is played today, you don't need that weight now. These guys don't get hit anymore. The defense can't touch the guys.
What do you think about that fight at the end of the game? I saw an article where there's some players suspended, 3 Florida players and 1 Tennessee player. I didn't see nothing really bad about that fight. I didn't think anybody needed to be suspended.
It was overrated.
Yeah.
You got Florida Gators. The players are in their feelings. God knows, I wish I could have been part of that situation. I promise you, the first one that threw us, I would have been suspended. They'd have probably kicked me out for the whole season, especially for what they got mad about. I mean, it was something that was just stupid. Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, it just didn't warrant a fight. The kid barely touched the quarterback.
Yeah, he was holding up to he had his arms up like that. And Mertz kind of slid over into his path a little bit. I saw it. So don't even start, Ryan. Don't even start. You act like it's what was the term you used after the game? Morally bankrupt. Give me a break. That wasn't even that big of a deal. If that bothers you, then you got a wuss for a quarterback.
And the quarterback knew what he was doing, though.
Yeah. I mean, dancing around back there. A lot of players said they took that as disrespectful, and all he had to do was kneel down.
And I understand the offensive lineman come, to be a savior, to help him and all that stuff. But no, that right there, God, that would have been a different night that night, because we'd have been 1-1 that night.
Yeah.
And on that same night, we would have been 1-1. I promise you on that. There's no way any one of those guys would have got away with that. Somebody would have been missing some players the next week. And not for suspensions.
Well, we definitely have a lot of growing to do, a lot of positional needs. We just had more needs than I thought we needed during the off season. I think we were a bit overrated. A lot of us fans were excited because of the Orange Bowl, and something in the back of my mind kept saying, all right, calm down, chill out, Bobby. You shouldn't be this excited. You shouldn't be this confident. But I just felt like, man, we just took care of business in the Orange Bowl. There ain't no way we're not going to be any good.
Well, you got to understand. I'm going to say it again. They had a lot of kids that went to the NFL of that team, man. When you lose that kind of stuff, it's not easy to replace. But I still think we're good enough to compete.
I think so too.
I mean, there's a few things we just got to fix, and we'll be okay. Defensive coordinator got to help the D-line out. We got to tackle a lot better. Offensive line has to give them enough time, or our offensive coordinator has to change the playbook a little bit to help the offensive line out. You can't tell me they were that much better on that drive the second half when they was trying to score real quick and they scored quick.
I do think that that the offense. I want how much of the play calls goes through Heupel, or is it strictly an offensive coordinator?
Coordinator. I mean,
all of it.
I mean, everybody says these things are filtered or whatever. It's very rare you get a head coach that's just gonna step over the offensive coordinator. I mean, that's his job. You know, I mean, head coach may notice, Heupel may know all the situations, but he still has to let the offensive coordinator do his job.
Over here on one of our YouTube channels, we got BVD. He wants to ask Billy, how much of that Florida game do you attribute to Florida being more motivated to play?
I mean, I told everybody Florida was going to come out and play this like it was a national championship game.
So we were their Super Bowl, basically.
I mean,
is that what you're saying, Billy?
I'm saying that because Tennessee has a bullseye on their back all season. It's going to be like that every game that we play this year. I don't care who we play. It's going to be a tough game.
I want to ask you a question. SEC's always been, the last 15, 20 years or longer, been the best conference in all of football. Do you realize there's only one SEC team that ranked in the top 10 this week? One. Georgia at number 1. We don't have another ranked team till you get to number 12 at LSU. Alabama's 13. Ole Miss is 15. And Tennessee is 23rd. Florida 25th. Are we really down, or is everybody up, or what is it?
It's the beginning of the season. The rankings don't matter until the second half of the season.
That's true, but still, we have always had 2 or 3 teams in the top 10 every year. When's the last time you haven't seen more than one SEC team any given week in the top 10? I'd like for somebody to do some research. Crying Ryan's Mr. Fact Check. Why don't you look that up, Ryan? I bet it's been years since there hasn't been more than one SEC team in the top 10 on any given week.
Well, I guarantee that would change.
Do you think it's the media who's voting on these things? The Associated Press is
I truly
got SEC fatigue.
Let me go look at the rankings right now.
I got them right here. There you go. Look at it. There's more Pac-12 teams in the top 10, more Big Ten teams in the top 10 than there are more Pac-12 teams in the top 10 than there are SEC teams. Never seen that.
And I'm just looking at the eye test. There's only one team in that top 10 that actually played anybody. Everybody else.
You talking about Texas?
That's the only team. Show me a team on here that's played anybody else that would say, oh, they're going to be, going to the national championship game.
I think looking at what Georgia did this past week, and you looked how they adjusted in the second half, or even before the second half was over, South Carolina jumped out. They had a lot of confidence, and Georgia just smashed that confidence into the ground. I think there's a huge difference between the number 1 team and Michigan. I think Georgia's like way better than Michigan, the number 2 ranked team. That's my opinion. They got the players. They probably got 55 stars on their team.
Yeah, they're loaded. They are loaded. They are loaded. But I still don't think that they are the team that's just going to say, hey, that no one's going to beat them. Because, you're talking about a team, they got a bigger bullseye on their back.
Yeah.
You think Alabama gonna suck against them? Think that quarterback situation is going to be a problem? Because right now, I don't know how or if, the backup quarterbacks is going to be able to survive. I mean, because I guarantee that the other quarterback will be back starting against Ole Miss.
Ole Miss is playing some football.
I mean,
they got an electric team. Their running backs are dynamite.
I mean, I'm truly surprised Alabama is favored over them this weekend.
Me too.
Me too. When I saw the 6.5, I'm like, okay, I think they're giving that to Alabama because I think the game is in Tuscaloosa. So
is it?
I think so. But Kiffin trying to put up points.
No, it's in Alabama. You're right. Alabama, they're favored by 6.5. I don't think they're that much better.
I mean,
I don't know.
I watched Alabama play, and they still got the kids, man. I think it's something that they're missing. I don't know what it is. It's either the same thing I think that Tennessee is missing right now. It's that what I call, leadership. I don't know who's the leader on defense, who's the captain or whatever. And when I say captains, I mean you can't be just, laid back like me when I was a captain. I mean, I was laid back as a captain. I mean, I wasn't vocal. I just did my job. But then you have
you led by example.
I mean, like you have like Al Wilson when he was vocal.
Yeah.
And then, even when Al left, we still had guys that was vocal. You had Ray Knox, Sean Ellis, you had vocal guys. We knew who were leader. We had a lot of leaders. I don't know who that is on offense. I don't know I know Milton is not the guy that's getting in anybody, but
he's not.
I don't see any offensive lineman that's grabbing his teammate by the shirt and said, man, how you gonna miss that block?
I don't see any of that on our team. I haven't all year.
And I may be wrong. They may be doing it on the sideline when we don't see it.
Yeah, that might be true. It might be true. But our former offensive coordinator from last year gave Alabama a run for their money. He's the head coach at USF. Mm-hmm. What was it, 10-3 game or 13-3?
It was, yeah. I mean, you talk about 3-3 at halftime, but I blame a lot of that on the condition of the field too. It was sloppy. It was raining so hard that game. And it make a big difference in big games like that, especially when you're going against a team that you want to beat the best teams.
Yeah.
And when you're going against Alabama, the team that everybody think is the best, you're gonna give them your best game.
BVD brings up a question. He's on one of our YouTube channels over here. He asked you, Billy, do you think this year's team is fully behind Joe in that locker room?
Get that out of your heads, man. Y'all believe the media and y'all let one person say that the coach don't have the locker or the guys, whatever, man. These guys love these guys. I mean, you think the little message that Henry Hooker put out about the situation, he'll tell you that Joe is he's the man. There's none of that. I don't even go over that, but I read body language. They're with the kids. I mean, these guys are together. They just made a lot of mistakes on the offensive line and offensive coordinator.
So you think that the reason why the play calling this year is so much different than last year is that
it's not different. It's the same play calling.
They've been throwing a lot more screens than they were last year. Is it the offense? What's the reason? Is it the offensive line?
Go look at the offensive screens we did last season. It's the same offensive screen.
Well, I've slept a lot.
I can tell you every play before it happens.
So you're telling me that they haven't changed a thing?
Ain't nothing changed. The only thing changed is we running the ball better. But we didn't do what we were supposed to do with the running game. We let it go, and we just let it go. I mean, penalties put us in bad situations where we couldn't run the ball.
And that's discipline. And
then you got when you're 3rd and 27, we don't want to force it and throw a pick.
Yeah.
It's game planning, man. I mean, football is football. It don't change. So no, I don't think there's a problem with the team with Joe. There's no problem.
Well, I think that the team's probably behind him.
This is the thing here. When a team lose, everybody want to think it's just problems that's going on inside a locker room. But when a team wins, you mean there's no problems? I had more problems in my locker room when we won.
Now, there was one player that in the media after last week's game, he says, do you think there's a problem with discipline or something like that? And he said, yeah, I think there's a problem with discipline or something. I don't remember. Ryan sent that to me where it was a clip of that. Like there might not the players may not be practicing as hard as he thinks they should be. I don't know.
Hey,
we need to go down there and check out a practice.
Well, if Cooper Mays truly says he don't have any friends on the team, his ass don't need to be on the team.
Then that's a him problem.
That's a him problem. And I'm gonna be real and honest with you. If I personally heard him say that, there's gonna be a problem with me and him, especially if I'm the captain of this team. Like, so you really think you have no friends on this team? You need to transfer.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. If he said that when I play, we gonna make his ass transfer because we gonna give him the business every single day.
We were just talking about somebody y'all made transfer. I ain't gonna name any names, but he let his mouth run. I mean, sometimes that happens.
Well, this is what I'm gonna ask you, BBD. What give you the impression that the team is not behind Joe? Because I haven't seen anything that says that, hey, we're gonna just let these guys tear Joe a new butter. We're gonna let them sack. We're gonna do all this. I haven't seen that yet. I don't see anything. I mean, like, what? Please, just let me know that what you see that make me think that, or make you think that. No, I mean, I really just think it's the scheme that's not working for us. Assignments. I truly think they are behind the kid, man. I mean, it's very rare that you ever hear a team is not behind their quarterback.
Got Trey Beck over on one of our YouTube channels. Hadn't seen you in a month of Sundays. He said this is the same Florida team that lost to a third-string quarterback, Utah. Well, good point. Good point.
Utah is not as bad as people think they are. I told everybody, I said exactly how many points Florida's going to score against that Utah team. Man. Utah is a lot better than people giving them credit for.
Yeah. I'm really, Sam, I don't know how to say this. I'm kind of have to walk a fence because I don't want to give too much. I don't want to say Florida sucks because that means we really suck when we say that because we just got beat by them.
No, Florida's not bad at all. I mean, I don't think they're as good as that what we saw this past weekend. They're not. They are most definitely better than the team that played Utah.
I think so.
You know, I think if they go play them today, I think that it'd be a totally different score, but I still think they will lose.
Right of the line said Tennessee made Billy Napier look like a genius. That's a good one.
I mean, he did. I mean, they won the game. They did a great job. Hey, we move on and we get to the next team.
Now, one thing I'm going to say this about Florida. Mute your turn the volume down, Crying Ryan. I don't want you hearing this. Go ahead and I'll give you a couple seconds to turn the volume down. You don't need to hear this. Give him a second to turn his volume down because I know he's going to really do it. Billy Napier is a recruiting machine. He's recruiting flat out recruiting us and most everybody in the SEC. That's going to be a problem in a couple of years. I hate to say it, but he's been recruiting some players.
Yeah, he does a good job of recruiting. I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, it showed. I mean, these kids are not going to just give up, man. They lost to Utah, and he said it. These guys stepped up and showed that they really can compete. And, you know, they did it against Tennessee, you know, a team that everybody has hyped up all this preseason and everything. And they knocked Tennessee in the mouth. You know, I think Tennessee made them look a lot better than what they truly are. And we'll see, you know, when Florida play against another ACC team that's, you know, supposed to be just as good. And I knew the Swamp was going to be rocking, man. That's what I said. We got to get that crowd out first. And we started off good. But we didn't keep that gas on. We took it off the pedal, took that scoring machine off their throat, and we stopped doing what we were supposed to do. We didn't do anything game plan wise that I thought had a chance to beat them, especially in the second quarter. We looked like, a peewee team. And yes, Kentucky will most definitely give them a fit.
Kentucky beat them last year, I think, didn't they? Didn't Kentucky beat Florida last year? So did Vanderbilt.
Well, I mean, those are two teams that Florida got the bullseye on. So these teams are going to play their best game. I mean, Florida's not giving up on anybody. I mean, they're going to give it to them. I mean, especially they've given these guys confidence. The win over Tennessee gave them confidence.
Shane Bentley, our favorite super chatter, bought us a beer. He said, here's some financial help to you guys. Enjoy a cold one. Georgia tried to lose as well. It's only been 3 weeks, but who do you all see has the best chance to win the conference? That ain't even question. Georgia, this is Georgia's to lose. I mean, I don't see anybody coming close to Georgia. I really don't, unless they just have some massive failures and some big-time injuries. I don't think anybody's going to come close to, besides Georgia, winning the East. That's just all there is to it. I don't even see anybody anywhere in the SEC going to give them a run. I don't.
I do.
Who?
All of them. I mean, this is the thing. I don't told you. NIL has changed that, man. NIL has changed that where these kids are going.
I'm not saying that nobody can't beat them. I think we're going to beat them.
How many times I told you how football works? See, y'all get so stuck in number one or a 5-star player. That don't work like that. What happened to Alabama? What happened to Alabama? What happened to Ohio State? What happened to Michigan?
I'm not saying that they can't be beat.
See, I mean, I understand that, but this history stuff that y'all go with, it don't work like that. It does not work like that. You think, what's the history in NFL? They have the best players in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They don't win every year. That's a rare situation that Georgia's doing right now.
So you don't, I mean, I'm not going to use the word dynasty, but they're not there yet. The only team I would give credit to that would be Alabama,
Nebraska, Alabama. Those are only two I'm going to give the props to like that. No one else has done anything like those guys.
Miami had a dynasty.
That wasn't a dynasty. That was player dynasty. That wasn't a dynasty.
That's true.
It was player dynasties.
That's true.
No, I'm not going to call it a dynasty. They're good players on those teams. Yeah, you want to call it Tennessee was a dynasty then, if that's the case.
Yeah, we did put a lot in the NFL back in the day. A lot. Well, we got 13 on Facebook, 14. Got several on YouTube. How y'all doing? Thanks for tuning in. We're bringing it to you live from Daddy Mac's Down Home Dive in Farragut, Tennessee. Come on down here and get you some chicken wings. Come see and ask for Bobby. I'll give you some free wings. Free order wings. Anybody comes down here anytime this week, come see me. I got you hooked up. Let's go on. Other news in the college football world. Did you see that hit on Hunter? I didn't think it was that bad. I just thought he was playing football. I mean, it might have been a little late. I only seen it once, but I don't think he was trying to hurt him or anything like that. They called it. He's getting death threats, and Dion's telling everybody that, he's just playing football and shouldn't be giving anybody death threats over that kind of play.
I'm going to give you my opinion. It was dirty.
You think so?
Yes, it was dirty. Come on, man. That was 3-4 more yards before he hit that kid.
Was he? I only seen it live. I didn't see any replays. Was he out of bounds when he got hit?
He had plenty time to pull up before he hit the guy.
Okay.
And Colorado State coach said it best. And, I lost a lot of respect for the guy when he said that, though.
What did he say?
Somebody asked him about, the hits and everything that was going on, and he said it's a rivalry game. It's supposed to be like that. No, it's not, man. I get that. Any other situation, that kid would have been ejected. That is what I call truly targeting. That's what targeting is supposed to be protected.
All right. y'all give me a minute. I got to see this hit again. As I just saw it live, I didn't see any replays. That's got to be on YouTube's. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up and everybody can watch it. Let's see if I can see it, and I'm going to share it with everybody. There's got to be a highlight of it somewhere. Here we go. All right.
You know, and I give credit to the kids that like, you know, Hunter, he's trying to blow it off or whatever, and Dion trying to blow it off because to, you know, get past it. They're tired of talking about it. And they're not going to, you know, let that phase them right now. They got good things going on for the team, and they don't want the negativity going on right now.
All right. Let's see if we can show this. Hold on a second. Share screen. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. There we go. All right, I'm going to bring this up. All right, let's see here. I'm going to maximize this. Hold on. Let's back this up. Let's start the audio.
Officials just told me that Travis Hunter has been taken off the premises to a local hospital for evaluation.
Let me watch this.
Cornerback and wide receiver apparently done for the day. That's like losing 2 players in one for the Buffaloes.
So they are perhaps in slight crisis mode without one of their key cogs. Incomplete, intended for Horn. Took his eye off the football, and Travis Hunter, as Quint just reported, done for the night. This was the hit that he took earlier in the game on the unsportsmanlike conduct hit from Henry Blackburn. He did return to the game after that, but subsequent to that, I mean, he was in just recently too.
Yeah, you don't want to speculate as to the injury, but that was a heck of a hit.
They said that lacerated his liver.
Right,
that didn't even look like he got hit that hard.
Chest level.
I want to see that
I just
again.
hope the young man is okay because he is a fantastic talent. But that was.
Let's go back and look at that again.
They are perhaps in slight crisis mode without one of their key cogs. Incomplete, intended for Horn. Took his eye off the football, and Travis Hunter, as Quint just reported,
here it is.
Done for the night. This was the hit that he took
it was
earlier
way,
in the
the
game
ball
on
was
the
way back.
unsportsmanlike conduct hit from Henry Blackburn.
Man,
he did return to the game after that, but subsequent to that, I mean, he was in just recently too.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, you don't want to speculate.
And I mean, I'll take it back. I'm not, because Colorado could have easily retaliated against that situation. They could have easily did that. That's something I didn't see after that hit. I didn't see them trying to go do the same thing that they did. But I did see a lot of Colorado State players still trying to do the dirty thing. Like hitting. I mean, there was a lot of late hits that wasn't called in that game.
Well, I like everything about Deion Sanders and what it just brought an excitement. Have you ever seen anything this exciting and this capture the nation like this from a team that's not even in the top 10 like Colorado has? Everybody's either waiting for them to lose and say, yeah, I told you so, or, they just can't get enough. And I think, would you consider Deion a player's coach?
Most definitely. That's why he's doing what he's doing. That's why these kids want to come play for him. And things that I always said, every kid that plays sports deserves a coach like that. Players, coaches, those are the greatest recruiters. Those are guys that can adapt to any situation. They can go to anybody's homes and feel comfortable. Whether it's rock and roll, rap, it don't matter. They go in there and they feel comfortable. Deion is doing all of that. These kids' parents are automatically co-signing for Deion before they even talk to them.
I would consider Kirby Smart to be a player's coach, wouldn't you?
Yeah, most definitely.
Because he was a
most
good player, yeah. And that helps in the recruiting. Definitely. I mean, I don't know that I would consider Philip Fulmer as a player's coach. He was just a coach.
I mean, Coach Foreman was pretty much the swag that he had.
Tell me what define players coach. What all does that mean? You hear it all the time. Players coach. Does that mean the players like him or they can relate to him? What does players coach mean to you?
Just being able to relate to any situation, don't matter what it is, personally, on the field, off the field. They've been through the exact same thing, whether it's girls, whether, your parents, just any situation, they can adapt to it. They can talk to you about it like you're talking to your best friend. They can talk to you about those things. Like for instance, Nick Saban. You probably wouldn't think that Nick was a player's coach because he always got the stale face and he's just serious all the time. But you'll be surprised what Nick can do when he goes to somebody's home, even though he does not have to even do what Deion Sanders does when he goes to the player's home. He can just sit there and everybody is in wow because Nick Saban is there. That's the same thing that Coach Foreman had. He goes sit there and they're in wow.
Now, was Coach Fulmer, was he somebody that you could go talk to about personal problems?
No.
See, I got to know Alexis Hornbuckle and a couple of the Lady Vols personally, and it blew my mind about Pat Summitt because everybody thought all she was always in your chest, yelling and screaming. That's all they saw on TV. But everybody said that she was like a mother to them, and they could cry on her shoulder or whatever, having trouble with home, school, relationships. She was always there, and that shocked me because I didn't think that was her. I thought her was a type A personality, and that was it.
It's a little bit easier for basketball coaches. They only have a few players. Football coaches, there's hundreds of kids they got to worry about every single day. So typically it never really get back to the head coach because the position coaches already handle it. And if it ever agreed to get back to the Coach Foreman, something had to be wrong because these other guys not doing their jobs then. Because here, I'll put it like this. Deion Sanders' job is so easy right now when it comes to him having to be relatable to the kids because he has probably every position coach he have is a player's coach.
Well, Jason on Twitter said, who on your coaching staff, when you played, who was the player's coach? Who did y'all go to on the team when you had personal problems off the field?
Coach Ramsey was one of those guys that would be your Deion Sanders. Coach Ramsey, he was like that. Coach Sanders.
Really?
He was personable. Mm-hmm. It was more of a trust thing too. Like, when you feel like if you tell somebody something, it stays in the room. It don't go out to everybody else. And that's the one part about a player's coach. Now if it's something that's super serious, I mean, the coach got to tell it, got to figure this out. But if it's like a personal thing where, hey, coach, man, hey, I got this girl pregnant. And you don't want him to tell everybody else your business.
Yeah.
Or there's two girls that trying to, I need it. It was situations like that. You don't want to go tell all their business because once you tell that business to everybody else, you lose that trust.
Speaking of basketball coaches, you see, we just gave an extension to Rick Barnes.
Yes, sir. He I don't know if he's going to last that long, but I'm glad we have a coach that's locked in place.
I don't know how I feel about Coach Barnes. We've had some talent. I guess I should be happy that we make it to the second and third round of the tournament. But I want to win. I want to know what it feels like to win it all and go to a Final Four. I'm tired of people saying we ain't ever been to a Final Four. Just let me go to a Final Four. That's all I want to do.
I'll tell you this here. You give me 50 push-ups 5 days in a row, then you come talk to me.
I can't do that.
Exactly. So why you expect for them to do that every single time?
No, I just want to be able to know what it's
perfect.
like.
They can't be perfect. They try to be as perfect as possible, but they can't. See, people don't understand that other team that they're playing is trying to win too. It's always 50-50 every game that every athlete get on that field and play.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even paid attention to the basketball in the off season to see who all's still on the team. I know we had I think Zig's still going to be there. Who else have we got that's coming back? I can't even remember now, but we got another month or so to start worrying about that. I'm excited about our basketball team. I think our baseball team's going to be good. We're just an all-around athletic university.
All right, we've gotten better, man. We just got coaches in place to recruit and finally get this team, the whole athletic situation back. And with the new athletic director, it's helped big time. I
like him.
He's reading guys. He's not going to get stats. He's getting guys that want to coach here, not just for the check. Yeah, yes, they want to make the money, but you want them to be able to be here for a while, not worrying about if they're going to leave 2-3 years from now.
Speaking of leaving and still staying on that subject with Colorado, how much longer do you think that there's a scenario that Dion would leave Colorado?
It's going to be a tough one, man. I mean, he's doing something that it's not even possibly to be done. But I knew he was going to give every team that they play, heck, it ain't going to be easy for them. Like this weekend, they're a 21-point underdog.
Who? Colorado?
Yes.
Nuh-uh.
Yes.
Who they play in Oregon?
They got Oregon and Oregon, and of course, a lot of people don't. And this is what I'm going to prove and make you understand that football is football, man. It's all about who wants it the most, man on man. Who's the strongest? Who win the battles in the trenches is always going to come out on top. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win the game every single time.
That's the way. That's one of the maxims.
Hey, it's one of the most important ones out of all of them.
Well, let's just move on to the future. I think that this next week, I want to see our guys come out with some intensity and tackle. I want to see them clean up all the messes.
They will. They have. They you correct the mistakes. I don't care who you play, and fans, please. You gotta get your feelings out the situation. You gotta understand that this is still Tennessee football. I understand we playing whoever is Texas, San Antonio.
And it's going to be in Spanish.
Yes.
Spanish for the first time ever. They're going to Spanish broadcast.
And if we get up 56-0, I don't want to hear that we're supposed to win. And support the kids, man. Don't leave the game because they're up 100 points. They love it when you're there for them. They love to party with you after the game. Like, you got to be part of the game too.
I've been to a lot of games. Since 1979 was my first one. I was 10 years old. And I never, ever, I don't care if we was up by 100 or down by 100. I never left before the game was over, ever. I get it. So you got some older people who want to beat traffic and can't walk so fast. I give them a pass, but I paid a lot of money for them tickets. I'm going to watch every last. I'm going to take in all the bad and all the good. I paid for all that bad feeling I'm going to watch. I paid to watch all that. I remember when I went to what year was it that Gaffney supposedly called a touchdown pass? It was called a touchdown, but it wasn't.
Oh, yes.
That's the worst call in all of college football history. I was there. I bought a cigar, and I sat there dumbfounded at the end of that game with my buddy, and I said, we ain't going to let these cigars go to waste. They ain't victory cigars, but I'm going to enjoy them. And I fired them up right there in the stadium and sat there in my seat till I was done. And then I got up and left.
Heck, the price of tickets right now, if I spend that kind of money on tickets, ain't no way I'm leaving that game.
I tell you, the most expensive ticket I ever bought was in, I think, 99. I think. Did we play Notre Dame in 99 at Neyland? Or was that 2000?
2000.
All right, 2000. I remember Leonard Scott had a return to touch. I remember that. I went there thinking, man, I could buy tickets for $150 a piece. No. They were $400 a piece, and they were way up high.
Wow.
And I kept telling that guy, that's a ripoff. That's a ripoff. And I kept saying, I kept thinking I was going to find tickets cheaper, you know, as it got closer to kickoff. And it was about 20 minutes till kickoff, and that guy still had his tickets for $400. I said, I'll take them. I got 2 tickets for $800, and they were way up high. And they said that was because we were playing Notre Dame, and they're rich. You know, their fans are rich. And they came up, the whole economic concept of supply and demand was undefeated. You had Notre Dame fans buying up all them tickets. But
wow.
$400 in 2000, I don't know what that is with inflation.
Wow.
That was the most I ever paid for a ticket. The cheapest ticket I ever got was like $10. I played the game after the Florida in 98. I think we played like Houston or somebody like that. I don't remember who the next game was. I got those for like $25 from my aunt.
I mean, I think I saw the Georgia tickets this season for.
You showed me that. Were $1,100.
Yes.
I bet they're cheaper now. I bet
let's check.
The bottom fell out of those tickets.
Let's see.
Yeah, you showed me that during the game. $1,100 for tickets at Neyland for the Georgia game. And that's probably because they were basing it on they thought we'd be undefeated when we played. I guarantee you they're not 1,000 right now. What website were you looking at?
Ticketmaster.
Look it up. I want to see. I bet they're not 1,100 now. I guarantee you.
They still up there.
Golly, they are $1,100.
And see, and that's where my seats are at in row D. I mean, section D.
Dang, $1,100.
I'm not.
Wow. I'm not spending that. I don't even care about going to a game anymore. You know, I've got to go up in the suite. That was a bucket list thing. I just rather watch it on TV than go to the game and put up with drunks and stuff and all that walking.
And those same seats this weekend,
$98. We need to give away some tickets. I got some budgeted money. We need to get some tickets. You think we can score two? You think you can score 2 tickets? I'll buy them for the South Carolina game, and we can give them away. You still got a contact?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Get me 2. I'll pay for them, and we're going to give them away to some of our viewers. I want to send some of our viewers to the game.
So that's the next home game.
Oh my gosh, South Carolina? Is that South Carolina?
Mm-hmm.
Man, $484.
That's a ripoff. That is a ripoff.
And you ask yourself at the end of the game, would you rather have that $484 back? I could never spend that kind of money. Never.
There's no way.
All right. Let's make these people some rent money in case there's somebody out there needs to pay their rent, their electric bill, their water bill, or even want to raise some money to go to the game. But better yet, we're going to get you some tickets. We're going to try to anyway. So just be a viewer and comment a lot. I know we got a lot on Facebook right now. But let's get into helping them make some rent money with our pick'ems. Because I'm winning, by the way.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we got to have our theme song. Where's our theme song at? There it is.
Yes.
I'm down to my last $2.
What a shame. All right. My lady at the casino, she lost all her money.
I actually got $10.
She said, don't feel sorry for me. No. Don't feel sorry, honey. But if you want to do a lady a favor,
I'm glad you sent me this song.
Just loan me $2.
You loan me $2, Billy? I need you to loan me $2.
I got you.
All right, I'll let Billy pick out the teams, the games. Since JC's not here, he's going to have to forfeit this week. Maybe we'll get his picks after the game. I mean, after the show.
Yeah, we'll still put them in.
We'll still put them in. But what's my record right now? I think I'm 6-4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6-4. Billy's 3-7, and JC's 5-5. I told you before the season, Billy, I had a system this year, and it's been working. I'm making money. I am making money this year, so I can really help you if y'all really need. If you got $50 to your name and you got the landlord breathing down your neck, take that $50 and follow my advice, and you'll be able to pay your rent. All right, first game. This one's a tough one. Florida State at Clemson. Florida State favored by, is that 2.5?
Yep, 2.5.
Wow. I think Florida State covers. I got to take Florida State on that one.
Clemson.
You going to take Clemson?
I'll take Clemson.
Hold on. Let me write this down. Billy has Clemson. Bobby has Florida State. I think they're on a roll. They're special this year. We're going to see what JC does after the show. Why are you picking Clemson to cover? You think they're going to flat out win it?
I mean, Florida State.
What have they shown you?
What did Florida State show you?
They've been showing me they've been playing good.
Did you see them this past weekend?
Yeah, I saw a little bit.
They squeaked that one out with about 2 points or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. But I think they're a good team.
I just think that
think Clemson's that bad.
Well, here, so put it like this here. So Clemson has always been a contender, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no one's talking about Clemson right now. They're talking about Clemson like they're nobody. So this is Clemson game like the Florida game was with Tennessee.
Now you're making me want to change my pick.
Hey, you already picked it. It's on. It's set in stone.
Nah, I'm riding with Florida State. I think they're going to win it.
Next game.
All right, next game. Oh, this is the easiest. This is the stone cold lead pot lock right here. Texas A&M is favored by 7.5 over Auburn. I'll take 7.5 points all day long and take Auburn. That's what I'm doing. I got Auburn. And I'm getting 7. That's over a touchdown. That half point is what's going to make it not a push. I'm taking the points.
Give me A&M.
All right, you got A&M. You're giving up 7.5.
A&M has to show up eventually, man. They can't keep on, playing down to their opponent. And, I think, Auburn going to be up for the game, but I think A&M have a little bit too much form right now. Auburn is in a true rebuilding situation.
You know who came in here about 2 months ago for their birthday?
What's that?
Walter Nolan.
Oh, really?
You remember Walter and Warren that worked for us up there?
Yeah, man.
Do you remember the third youngest brother used to run around tap all the time? He is huge.
Yeah, I told you he was going to have a growth spurt.
Oh, my gosh. I bet he's 6'2".
Yeah.
And he's, 13, I think they said. I couldn't believe it. But, yeah, Walter Nolan, great defensive tackle, #1 player in the country, everybody thought was going to Tennessee, went to A&M. He was in here, got to hang out with him and eat birthday cake. Got to see Warren. Warren's a big boy too. Warren, he's offensive lineman. I don't know how. I haven't got to watch him play.
Oh man!
But he's like a brick house.
Yeah, I personally thought he was better than Walter.
He was really soft spoken. I had to get on to him a few times in the kitchen, but he's a good kid.
He was like Trey Smith.
Yeah,
he looked just like him. Like built the exact same way at 15 years old.
And when we needed something heavy moved in that kitchen, who did we call? We called Warren. Hey, Warren, get over here.
Big seriously. I mean, I want to see what it looks like now. He was here?
Big. Yeah, he was here. Him and Jeremy. Jeremy came in with it, and his mom and everybody came in, and I got to treat him a little bit. All right, so you got A&M. I got Auburn. I'm just going to get way out in front of you after this week. All right, going on to Oregon, Colorado. Oregon favored by 21. That's there's no way. I'll take Colorado all day long on that. I know Hunter's out. I don't care. Maybe he means that much. Maybe he doesn't. But 21 points, that's a lot of points against a team that's on fire right now.
Wait, I
know they barely beat Colorado State, and they're a bad team. I get that. But wait a minute. Hold on. Let me think about this a minute. I might be talking myself into taking Oregon. No, I'm sticking with Colorado. I'm going to ride them till the wheels fall off. I'm riding them till the wheels fall off. I'm taking Colorado.
I'm going to go with Oregon, man, just because I think they run the same type of offense, and I think they have seen it a long time, and I think by seeing how Colorado State played the offense, I think they got a cheat sheet early to be able to compete with them. And I think that they are covered at 21.
Man, that's a lot of points.
Travis Hunter is a huge part of that team. You're talking about 2 players in 1. This kid can lock anybody down. This kid can run any route. You're talking about 100 and some plays that you're going to be missing. Now, I know they got kids that could, do that. I mean, you got Joe Hohen's son over there.
Yeah.
He's good, but he's not a Travis Hunter. Trust me. That when you have a player like Travis, that's the kid that I say he got it.
Yeah, he does.
You don't get that many guys. That's that Reggie Bush kid. That's just he got it.
We haven't seen anybody like Travis Hunter since
it's a long time, man.
Since what's her name? Charles Woodson.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
All right, so you got Oregon. I got Colorado.
I'll take the Ducks.
I got 3 wins right there. All right, this is a harder one for me to pick. Bama favored by 6.5 over Ole Miss. It's at Bama. You go first this time. I went first on the first 3. You go first now.
I'm gonna take Bama.
All right, you think Bama's going to cover the 6.5? That half point hurts.
It does.
All right, so you got Bama. I think Ole Miss is playing good. I'm going to go Ole Miss. We're going opposite on all these, and we're not doing this on purpose. I just think they're playing good, I think Alabama's down.
I think this is going to come to the situation where the Nick Saban pupil thing, where they don't ever really beat them, though. I think this is going to be a game where Kiffin kind of overstride himself, try to do too much. Of course, everybody's already, gave up on Alabama because they have a situation at quarterback that they have never had in a long time. I truly think that Bama's going to fix that quarterback situation, and they're going to get it right eventually.
I think I read something where they're going to let Milroe start this week. So they took it away from him, and they're going to give it back. Was that kind of like an attention getter?
Well, I'll tell you this here. The backup quarterback sucked.
Yeah, he didn't look very good. All right, the last game of the 5-game parlay is Ohio State and Notre Dame. Ohio State's favored by 3. Wow, that's another tough one. Why'd you pick these hard ones?
Hey, it's that time of the year. It's that time of the year to make rent money.
I'm going Ohio State all day. All day. I think they beat them by 20.
Oh, man.
You might as well. You don't want me to get too far out in head. So
I was thinking Florida. Ohio State at first, but they truly haven't shown me anything, and I think Notre Dame have a little bit more to prove. So I think they're going to come out on fire.
So you're saying
I'm going to take Notre Dame.
Notre Dame at home. So you think they can outright win it? It's only a 3-point spread.
No, I mean it's low for a reason. They're not going to give that kind of money away.
All right. You got Clemson, A&M, Oregon, Bama, and Notre Dame. And Bobby Catfish has Florida State, Auburn, Colorado, Mississippi, Ohio State. I'm feeling good about my picks.
I hope you do, because it's that time of the year where you go over. Hey, it's automatic, guys. Please.
I should get credit for that 1 week that I went 0 for 7. Because statistically speaking, it's just hard to go 0-7 as it is 7-0 in picks. So I ought to get some they should have paid me something for going 0-7. I don't know. Slim Shady Kane said Catfish about to lose big time. No, I'm ahead. I'm ahead in the thing. I'm 6-4 this year.
Oh man.
Billy's, what are you? 3-7?
Yep.
I've got a new system, Slim Shady. I got a new system this year. I've been executing it flawlessly. And I'm going to help some people this year with their rent money. It feels good to help somebody. And that's what I feel I'm doing. I'm helping them. Anyway, you got anything else to say? Let's get some shout outs. Shane says, I'm curious to see how Bama plays over here on YouTube's. Jacob on Facebook wants to know, said that's a bad Catfish has got all losers. Slim Shady said, I'm going to lose. But why is everybody picking on me? What did I do?
History don't lie. Remember, that's what you all been telling me about history. Remember, right? That's the reason why Tennessee always lose a game is because of history. Remember?
See, Ryan over here on one of our YouTube channels says, Billy, you sharking him with this slow start.
No,
don't even start, Ryan. Don't even start with this.
Don't. Hey, Ryan, you know the game. We talked about this before.
But what's the purpose in letting me get out ahead? That's just that don't make any sense. You're trying to make me get careless towards the last half of the season.
Well, that's the game plan. You got to get inside their head. When you get inside your opponent's head, they make mistakes.
Now everybody's making me second guess my picks. Now Slim Shady says 101st ranked defense. I didn't know that when I made my pick. Is that true?
See, that's why I wish JC were here with you so he can help you out.
Yeah, I know. Where did he go?
See, you notice every time he know I'm gonna lose a game, first thing he says, or you say, who picked that team? Ain't nobody said who picked Colorado.
Yeah.
Oh man, but hey, it's fun, man. I kind of wish we had a little betting situation. What do we do? Like push-ups or something?
Well, I bet whatever you want. I feel good. I got a new system this year. I've been trying to tell everybody. Y'all laughing at me now, but I'm going to be laughing all the way to the bank at the end of this year.
I hope so, man. I mean, it's due time. I'll take a loss.
Well, now are they really 101st in total defense, Slim Shady? 33rd in total offense. I'm riding with them. I think Clemson's that bad. Have you seen Clemson play? They are horrible.
They're not
horrible.
We're going to see I'm telling you, we're going to see a totally different Clemson team this weekend.
I don't think so.
I thought Florida State was good.
They are good. I think they're decent.
They're not
Jordan.
Good. I don't think they're that.
Maybe not, but I don't know. I think Clemson is losing it this year.
Well, and then with the Colorado game, I think they got to have that one game where they have to become humble. Even though the kids are doing right, they're doing everything the right way. They're not making mistakes. They're not doing anything crazy. But
so you think this Oregon game is the humbling game for Colorado?
It could be. It could be. I mean, I hope that they continue to win in situation, but you got to come down eventually.
And then Slim Shady says Oregon going to drop 60 plus on Colorado.
Hey, see the stats. I mean, they're not that bad.
There's nobody saying I made one good pick. I don't have one person say I made one good pick. I felt good.
I mean, you told me to pick I would have picked all mine first if you wanted me to. I knew everything that I picked, you was going to go opposite of me.
So I picked the way you thought I was going to pick then. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. You do every week.
Well, you set me up that one week with Florida State and LSU. You came out talking good about Florida State and how good they're playing and that. And then when it came time to pick, I picked Florida State based on your insider information. And then when you picked, you said LSU. I said, hold on. Where'd that come from? And you set me up.
Sometimes you gotta do that, man. I mean, and
I'm not even going to listen to you anymore. I think I should pick first and just go with my gut. I always have better picks when I go with my gut. Always, always, always.
I recommend.
And every time I second guess myself, I don't pick good.
I recommend that every single time.
And the one time I did do it, I went 12-0. And I didn't have not one penny on those picks. Man, I wished I've. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been fun. Come down and see us at Daddy Max. You come down here and ask for Bobby, and I'll give you a $25 gift card, some chicken wings or something, whatever you want. I'll feed you. The first 3 or 4 people that do that, I'll hook you up. Anybody living in Knoxville? I know Ryan's coming back into town. When's Ryan coming back? Ryan, when are you coming back to town? You said it was next week or week after. Come see me, and I'll get you some chicken wings and some sliders. Hot dog, whatever you want. We got some great food. What do you want to eat, Billy? I got to get you some food before you go.
What's that?
What do you want to eat tonight?
Oh, I'm good. I mean, I got plenty at the house.
Do you?
Birthday.
How was them meatballs, them smoked meatballs? Were they good?
Sure. I had them for when I left, and then I had them for breakfast.
They were probably better at breakfast.
Yes, I can't believe they let the meatballs go off the menu. But I like what y'all did. You're going to make the different type of sliders.
Yeah. We got some good sliders. My favorite is the black and blue slider. It's got blue cheese. I know you don't like all this stuff, but it's got blue cheese, grilled onions, blackberry habanero sauce that we make here in-house with real whole fresh blackberries and fresh habaneros and some other things, sugar and a few things. We make that sauce ourselves. In fact, that reminds me, it's a little bit spicy this time. I'm gonna need to tell them to cut back on the habaneros. Was that it? Ooh, it's spicy, but it's good. Anyway, come see me at Daddy Mac's Down Home Dive, Farragut, Tennessee. We're gonna get on out of here. Let's play some Rocky Top before we go.